Unfortunately, airline failures are not new, but last week an airline we recently flew on hit financial turbulence. In Australia, Rex, or Regional Express, is Australia's third biggest airline and voluntarily filed for administration.
In major aviation news, regional carrier Rex Airlines has entered voluntary administration.
Rex's bread and butter has traditionally been by serving regional Australia, but in 2020 it introduced the Boeing 737 to operate key routes between Australia's capital cities. Many observers blame this move for Rex's problems, and the news last week sees the 737 fleet grounded. A few months ago we flew Rex between Brisbane and Sydney on board one of those 737-800s. And so we arrived in Brisbane and tried to check in at the self-service kiosk, but instead had to go to a Rex check-in desk to check our bags. There was a little bit of a wait as we had somebody with baggage problems in front of us, but soon we were through security and into the departure lounge. The domestic terminal here in Brisbane shows just how competitive domestic air travel in Australia can be. A large country but small population makes flying between the main cities extremely difficult. You have Virgin Australia and then Qantas, of course, and then you have Qantas's low-cost carrier Jetstar. All of those carriers competed with Rex on the route to Sydney. Our 737 arrived slightly behind schedule, but had a quick turnaround, and soon it was time to board.
50 hours boarding for this.
Somewhat ironically, today's 737 interior was still decked out in the colours of its former operator and Rex competitor, Virgin Australia. We settled into our seats, 14A and 14B, which were overwing exit seats, so plenty of room.
Please don't hesitate to ask one of our lovely flight attendants as they make their way through the cabin. Thank you.
In the seat pocket was the obligatory safety card and also an in-flight magazine with a route map that illustrates Rex's large regional network, which is still operating. These routes are lifelines for more rural towns across the country, and they also offer a lot of fly-in, fly-out charters that are vital to the nation's minerals industry. We pushed back just a few minutes late and off we taxied to the runway, ready for takeoff to one of our favourite cities, Sydney. Unsurprisingly, the legroom on the overwing exits was very spacious, and I find this especially so on the 737. Even Ivan could stretch out. If we had wanted to on this short flight, we could have purchased a Wi-Fi package or watched free in-flight entertainment on our own device. Rex also offers complimentary tea, coffee, water and a light snack, which is a little better than what Virgin Australia offers. Other drinks I buy on board and are priced reasonably, and I opted for a Balter IPA. We drank quite a lot of this whilst we were in Oz, and it's a really refreshing beer. The snack, meanwhile, was a barbecued flavoured rice snack, which is aptly named the Aviator Mix. The seats, meanwhile, were actually pretty comfortable and perfectly adequate for this 1 hour 25-minute flight. Meanwhile, unsurprisingly, the obligatory toilet visit was pretty unremarkable, but it was clean and it was tidy. Being one of our favourite cities in the world, we soon started to get excited as we began our descent into Sydney. We had a dilemma about which side of the plane to sit, but we were really lucky as we landed to the south, meaning we had an amazing view of the iconic Sydney landmarks, the Harbour Bridge and the Opera House as we approached the airport.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sydney. We have arrived.
And there we have it, we arrived at Sydney's Kingford Smith Airport on time. Now, often short flights can of course be pretty unremarkable, and I guess this one was no exception. However, it was a comfortable and enjoyable flight with good service for such a short sector. On board, Rex offers something in between Qantas and Virgin with a hybrid complimentary / buy on board in-flight service. But what makes this remarkable though is that we got to experience the short-lived 737 operations of Rex. I say short-lived. In theory, I guess someone could come along and buy Rex as well as restarting their ops with the Boeing aircraft. However, I actually find that very unlikely. I am optimistic though that the regional side of Rex will be saved in some way. Why? Well, because the geography of Australia and relative lack of rail means that a regional air service is vital in connecting more isolated communities. Before venturing into the uber competitive capital cities network, Rex did very well, and I guess this is why someone will come along and be a saviour of that side of the business. Nevertheless, they gave it a go, and competition is always good for the passenger, I guess. Either way, we enjoyed using Rex, an airline that we probably wouldn't have had the opportunity to use. If you've enjoyed this video, then why not give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you in the next one.